Welcome to today's Daily Walk in Wisdom. This time we're learning from Job about how to have a point of reference that will sustain us during our difficult times. I'm going to read a number of passages all the way from Job 9 through to chapter 19. Just small little sections from here and there, and it's talking about how there is someone in heaven who advocates for us. It says, if only there was someone to mediate between us, someone to bring us together, someone to remove God's rod from me so that his terror would frighten me no more. And then I would speak without fear. Even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend, as my eyes pour out tears to God. On behalf of man, he pleads with God as a man pleads for his friend. And then he says, I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand upon the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes, I, and not another. How my heart yearns within me. The familiar world wherein we live becomes the place where we grow comfortable, where we can relax and let our guard down. It might be a small room, or it may extend to the boundaries of your city, or perhaps even a highway. Every step away from where you feel safest is stepping towards the unknown, toward potential chaos, and as such, threat levels increase, and this in turn heightens anxiety. But our territory extends into zones that are more than geographic, because we're such social beings. Much of our territory where we feel safe is in our relationships with other people. And so we're not just talking geographical territory, we're talking about social territory. It is in our relationships that we experience love and hate, where we feel most at home, and also where we can feel most disturbed. Everybody feels safe when we're with others who live life with the same beliefs and goals. But say someone close to you were to have an affair. What if they developed an addiction? What if they were to experience tragedy or divorce or illness? And all of a sudden, the relational space you occupy becomes unsafe territory. Suddenly you don't know where you are, and you don't know what to do. They may be the ones struggling, they may be the ones that are going through whatever it is that is taking place, but something in you also feels threatened. Now what's happened? Well, your place in the world is being challenged. And it's amazing how quickly things can change. Things can go from feeling quite safe to feeling threatened just in a moment, in a flash, in the blink of an eye. Just the transferring of a little bit of information, just something that you may see or something that you may hear can have you feeling in your relationship with someone disturbed. And a few minutes ago you were safe with them, and now you don't know what to do. This relates to us when the person that we are with is struggling, because so often we don't know what to do, because since they've fallen sick or since they've gone through their troubles, the situational relationship has changed, and we're now in unsafe territory. We don't know what to do. When situations change like that, where our expectations are challenged and we suddenly find ourselves in uncharted territory, we need a truth that will provide us with the necessary stability to cope. When we're outside familiar territory, we can flounder and become quizzical about life. One of the most diabolical aspects of suffering is the upheaval that it creates. Nothing disturbs the status of a friendship like suffering. The reason we struggle when we're with those who are dying is because we've entered uncharted territory. And today more than ever this is so, because until recently, people could die a good death, and that was something to be admired. It was the climax of a good life, the godly man's crowning achievement. Until recently, that was possible, because until recently, truth was holding secure everyone's life. Now, when you're adrift in uncharted territory, when you're all at sea, you need an anchor. Without any anchor, then suffering becomes terminal, all-consuming, swallowing everything within its vortex. Instead of having a point of reference outside of the evil that we're going through, outside of the suffering, then suffering itself becomes an end. It becomes your complete focus. Everything and everyone revolves around your condition. Everything and everyone becomes unsafe and unpredictable because your territory is now in uncharted waters. It's a spiraling threat. This is why we need truth. Truth that is rock solid. Truth that provides us with an axis upon which the world can spin. And long before the Gospels were ever written, Job speaks about us having a mediator. Long before Paul calls Jesus our intercessor, Job brings up the intercessor who, by the way, is his friend. And long before Jesus spilt a drop of blood, Job calls him my Redeemer. Job is saying, I'm going through all of this suffering, but everything that I am in at this moment, whilst it's unsafe territory, even with my friends threatening me, yet Jesus is my guarantee that everything is going to be all right. Jesus is my certainty. Jesus is my safe place. And when the world is like shifting sand, Jesus is your solid rock. He's your peace where there is no peace. He's your strength when you're feeling weak. And this is the truth that will set you free from the contingencies that you would otherwise be grappling with and fighting against if you didn't know that Jesus has overcome all of the principalities and powers that are against you. And this is something that Job, in the most tragic of circumstances that we could ever read about in the Old Testament, is able to say, I know that my Redeemer lives, is able to say that I know that I will see him face to face, that with my own eyes I will see him. It's because he's got this anchor, this thing that he can hold on to. I doubt if any of us have gone through exactly what Job has gone through to that level. We've been through stuff, we've been through tough times, and each to his own is measured the depth of despair to which we plunge. But when you've got a perfect man like Job, then the depth to which a man like that can plunge goes even deeper than perhaps what we have been to. Nevertheless, we also can know that our Redeemer lives, that in heaven we have an intercessor, that God is on our side. Ultimately, God has made sure that he is on our side by sending Jesus for us. Amen. That's the truth. Let me pray for you. Lord, I just ask that you would get a hold of all of us and invest into our lives such a deposit of your faith and truth and confidence in you that we won't be shaken, no matter what has gone on, no matter what is going on, no matter what we may face tomorrow, that there is such confidence in you, that truth that holds us true will be there, and that it will enable us and equip us to be able to advance through our lives without dropping the ball, without giving up, without despair, without discouragement, but that we would continue on because of the fact that we know that you have got us in your hands. Amen. We'll see you again tomorrow for some more wisdom out of the book of Job.